welcome to this Pilates video. This is going to be a short video and it's the second in the series. The focus is the posterior chain of the body, or the back of the body, and strengthening the back of the body. It's aimed at beginners, but anyone can join in. So the first of the 4 exercises is the Swan Dive, or variations on the Swan Dive. So for this one, you'll need just the mat and yourself lying on your front. I've got a couple of blocks for later on, for one of our seated exercises later on, if that's something you'd like to consider. So when you're ready, coming onto your front. And I'm going to keep my head up just for now so that you can hear me speak, but the head will be all the way down when you're practicing this one. So this strengthens the mid-thoracic back and possibly into the lumbar as well, depending on how far you go. So the set-up position, the hands come to the side of the body, level with the rib cage. So it might be further back than you expect. You have approximately a right angle at the elbows. Relax the lower body, so you might want to sort of just bring the feet in and out, the hips in now a little bit to relax, and then settle. The legs could be together, but if you get any pinching in the lower back, it's much nicer to widen the legs to give yourself a little bit of space to prevent any sort of pinching feelings. And if you do have any discomfort, please stop, and if you're considering any health conditions, seek medical advice before beginning if you're not sure. So as you inhale, imagine yourself growing longer. Almost think the hands are pulling back and the chest is reaching forwards, and then it lifts a little away from the mat. Exhale, come back down. And repeat. So as you inhale, the chest reaches forwards. Imagine the hands draw back, the chest lifts, and come back down. And so this is the first stage of the Swan Dive. Pressing into the hands, the fingers spaced wide apart. And you'll feel that it's only the rib cage area that's lifting up, not coming too high. So this is the thoracic spine, the mid part of the spine that we're working to strengthen. And it's this part of the spine that's often quite convex, so sort of curving out to the back. Maybe 1 or 2 more. And then your rest position is a child's pose. So we bring the spine into the opposite direction. And so very often this part of the back can get a little bit rounded, particularly as we age. So this particular exercise is very good at trying to sort of counter that rounding. So if you want to progress the Swan Dive, and you might not want to, and that's absolutely fine, but if you do, you start in exactly the same way. You lift, and then you might continue to lift, lengthening the arms, wrists under the shoulders, the hips will lift from the mat, the elbows then bend, backwards, arms by the body, carefully lower yourself down, and you repeat. So you lengthen first, imagine drawing the hands back and the chest forwards, lift the chest, thoracic spine extension, then continue to lift, pressing through the arms, back of the arms get a workout too, and we're then extending through the lumbar spine, the lower back as well. Bring yourself back down. We'll do 1 more of those if you're choosing to come this high, and you absolutely don't have to. And then when you're ready, lower yourself down with care. Come back to child's pose. And take a deep breath into the back of the body. We have a greater surface area at the back of the lungs. So really fill up and feel the back of the lungs inflate. Come back onto our bellies again, this time lifting up onto the elbows, forearms down. So the elbows are under the shoulders, and it's really key to relax the shoulder blades. This is known as shoulder stabilisation in Pilates. So the opposite would be this, which is what we don't want. We're drawing the shoulder blades down. Bring the legs fairly close together. They could be quite close, or they could be hip width. Again, what feels more comfortable for you is absolutely fine. And this is called the single leg kick, and it's good for hamstring strength, so the muscles at the back of the thigh. It's also quite good for coordination, as I'm about to demonstrate. Well, not necessarily particularly well, I find the coordination difficult. So we initially lift the right leg with the pointed toe, pulse, flex the foot, pulse, point the toe and down. Left, point, flex, point and down. Change legs. So it's the ankle movement that I sometimes struggle with. And it's a bit of a pulse. So you lift all the way up and then it's a little pulse for 3 and then you come down. Keep checking the shoulder blades. There was a demonstration of my dodgy coordination. And as we pulse, you might feel the back of the thighs strengthening, contracting. One more each side. All the while, maintain a little bit of contraction at the lower abdominal region. So when you come to do this again, think about engaging the lower abdomen here to help protect the lumbar spine. When you're done, child's pose again. We reverse the position of the spine. And then exercise 3, we're going to come into a twist. And this is where you might choose to sit on a block, or you could do this sitting on a chair as well. Just make sure that you have room to move, so maybe perch on the edge of your chair. So finding a comfortable spot where you can sit tall and upright, legs lengthened in front of you. It's absolutely fine to bend the knees. What you're aiming for is a neutral spine, shoulders stabilised, and the hands are going to come to the centre of the chest, hands together. Gently take your gaze down to the middle fingers. Inhale, lengthen up, engage the lower abdomen, and as you exhale, we twist to the side, keeping the chin at the centre of the twist. Inhale to centre, exhale coming round to the left. Inhale to centre. So it's the thoracic spine, that mid part of the back. That's where most twisting movements happen. The lumbar spine can twist to an extent, but not much. So really working here to increase our mobility around the mid-back. Keeping about 30% engagement of the lower abdomen, keeps the lower back steady and stable and neutral. So you can carry on like this, or if you want to, you can come out to cactus arms. And keep working from side to side, making sure you can see both hands in your peripheral vision if you come out to cactus arms. And we've increased the lever length for the twist. And if you wanted to go further still, we can extend the arms out. Have the palms facing forwards, keeps the shoulders in a neutral position. It's nicer for the shoulders. The shoulders remain stabilised all the way through. So space between your shoulders and your ears. Continue to focus on your breathing. And do one more each side. It's controlled, precise movement. Exhaling to twist. Inhaling to centre. Relax the arms down. And our final exercise today, we're going to do a little bit of work on the core muscles. We're going to come into the plank. So place your blocks out of the way if you've been using them. And the plank we're going to do on the elbows, so as you were for the single leg kick. So the elbows under the shoulders, the legs long. We're going to start in this position with the hips and thighs down to the floor. Stabilise your shoulders, press the chest forwards. Start to draw your belly button back as if you're reaching it back towards the spine, and you might feel a bit of a lift around the pelvis. And this is quite strong on its own. All the time thinking about core strength. And it doesn't matter how much or how high you lift, it's about how strong you feel for your centre. And this is a static position, so we're holding it static. And whilst you engage the lower abdomen, you're thinking of breathing into the rib cage. So breathing, expanding sideways through the rib cage, and exhaling, deflating, coming back in centrally. Keeping the back of the neck long. A little bit of shaking is fine. You can probably hear in my voice I'm having a little bit of a shake here. The next time that you exhale, relax yourself down. Come all the way down. Rest your hands under your forehead. And rest here and take a few breaths. So with any exercise practice, particularly with exercises that focus around our core, around the spine, core muscles, if you have any pain, please stop and seek medical advice. And if you have an injury to begin with, please consider seeking medical advice before you begin. But this is something you might want to practice 3 or 4 times a week. You might want to combine it with the core strengthening video that I did a couple of weeks ago that's also available on YouTube to get an all-round workout, core muscles and back muscles. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.